This video explains how you can execute your Mocha tests in Azure DevOps. So basically you need to follow 3 steps to execute the tests. First of all, you have to create the empty repository in Azure DevOps. Then on your local machine, you have to create the project, the Mocha testing project. We have already seen how to create the testing project locally. And then we have to initialize the Git repository locally. Then you can push the changes to your Azure DevOps repository. And once that is done, you can execute these tasks on Azure DevOps. npm install, then npx mocha, and also we will have to add the publish test result task as well. So let us follow these steps one by one. Now we have to, first step, we have to create a repository on Azure DevOps. So in Azure DevOps, go to the repository section and then you can create a new repository. You should not add any ignore file or readme file when you create the repository. Otherwise you might face issues when pushing changes from local machine for the first time. So click on this arrow and then click on new repository. Give the name of the repository, say Mocha, and do not add the readme file. Here select none, then create. After this empty repository is created, you can get this SSH URL of your Git. So we will need this later on in the next steps. Also make sure that you have added the SSH keys. So how to add the SSH keys, I will create a separate video right now. Make sure that you have to click on manage SSH keys and you have to add the public key of your private key of the SSH. This key will be on your local machine. When you create the SSH key pairs, private key will be stored on your local machine, and public key you will have to copy paste in here by clicking on manage SSH keys. So that thing has to be done, otherwise you will get the permission denied error. So note down this Git repository URL. Okay, next step, what you need to do is you have to initialize repository on local machine. Now let us go to the Visual Studio Code and let us to git init. So it is reinitialized existing Git repository in here. Let us see what is in the .git ignore. Remember that in git ignore you have to add this node underscore models directory, because we don't want to want Git to like track these files in this directory. So make sure that node underscore models is added. Now next thing that we have to do is we have to execute these commands: git add -a, then git commit, so here we have to use the repository that we created in Azure. Let us hit enter. Remote origin already exists. So what we want to do is git remote remove origin. Now let us add the origin again. So this you will not have to use this step git remove origin, because when you create the Git repository for the first time, all you have to do is just use this command git remote add origin. That's it, and then repository URL. Next one is you have to push it. If you have set the passphrase for your SSH, then you enter it, otherwise the changes will be pushed, and then you can see these changes on Azure. So right now it is blank, but you can see now it is, since we have pushed it, the files are here now. So next step is, now the repository is on Azure, we have to use these steps: npm install npx mocha, and then publish the result as well. So what we have to do is set up build for this repository. Then we have to add the node.js task, and in here you can see in the script it is saying npm install and npm run build, but we don't want to run the build. What we want to do is we want to execute our tests. So instead of this one, let us add npx mocha, and finally we have to also add the publish task as well. Publish test results. This task is required, and the report will be generated in XML. So I'm just gonna click on add. And another thing that we missed is we need to pass this xinit reporter as well. To generate the report in XML, we have to pass that one. Then save and run this one. Then what will happen is test execution will be started. The job is queued here, you can see. The job has failed. Let us see what the issue is there. Exited. Supported platform for FS event. So this is giving some error. Let us see what was the issue there. Go to the pipeline, then click on Mocha, and then you can edit this pipeline like that. Most probably the Node.js version that we are using here is the problem. Let us try to use the latest version by changing the version specification, then click on save, and then automatically it will kick off the pipeline. You can see it is already in the queue. So what we did now is just that we upgraded the node version that we are using on the Azure agent. It is still failing here. The error message that was appearing for this Mocha build, test build, was related to the Linux agent. So what I have done is that I have updated this YAML file to use Windows agent. So let me show you how I did that. So you can see this is the YAML file where you can see instead of Ubuntu latest, I have used Windows latest. And on Windows agent, our tests are running fine. Another change that I did in this YAML file was that in here there was something like -test.xml. So I've removed that one as well, because our report file doesn't contain test in the file name. So I just put there ** like that. And that is the only change that I did. Otherwise you can see these commands are the same: npm install and npx mocha reporter xunit reporter option report.xml. And then all I did is just ran the build. Branch, you can also select the branch here. If you want to run these tests on different branch, then you can select the branch from here, or you can also select the commit or tag as well. And this pipeline has no defined variables. You can set up the variables as well. For example, if there is some variables, for example user ID, port, or anything, there could be any number of variables that you can use in your pipeline as well using this variable section. Right now I don't need that, so I'm just going to click on run, and it will create a new build. This is the build ID. Normally it follows the syntax like year, month, and day dot the number of build counter basically for that day. So this is the 5th build on 16th of April. And you can see it has started running. It also shows the duration for how long it is running. And within a few moments, we should have our test report ready here. So you can see it's green now. And on the tests tab, it will also display what tests were done. There was one test that failed. If you want to see all the tests that were done, you can select past all these checkboxes, and you can see what all tests were done. So if you click on this job, it will show the details, like which steps were run. And there is also one task called as publish test results, and that's the reason we are seeing this tests tab. Otherwise, if you do not add that publish test result task, this test tab will not appear. So that's it in this video. If you have more questions related to Azure integration and Mocha framework, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video.